Yearning. It was a fair English morn born of a virginal spring, when I trod the palace gardens to pluck the childish buds and sprig. It was my daily chore, you see, to brighten my mistress' chambers, with blossom of brightest hue, blue and red and amber. I sang a song as I gathered the blooms, a song of brave knights and dragons fierce and maidenly swoons. The sounds of hooves and manly laughter did ring out in my reverie, and I peeped through the bushes to make sense of the revelry, when the wind stopped for an instant and I couldn't bear to breathe. I dropped my precious blooms then as my eyes sighted him. Was it the space of a heartbeat or an eternity? That day I saw him. Forever after, I would remember the glint of golden light on the silver mail as he rode his ivory steed. He threw back his head, rippling the coppery strands as he laughed out loud at his friends' jests and deeds. It was a laughter of purest, unaffected joy, childlike and sweet, turning manly knight to boy. I gaped at my master like the meanest village fool. To my eyes, he was less man and more a golden seraph come down to rule. I would see my lord time and time again after, as he made merry in the palace. My lady mistress rejoiced in him, her beloved son who had won the wars and come home with precious gifts of gold and lace. His companions and cousins delighted over him, and the old servants wept and coddled and cherished him. For the young lord and master had come home, and there was never again a sad countenance. There were to be no more prayerful fasts and abstinence, and the feasts were delightful with endless plates of sustenance. Amidst the sea of rejoicing and revelry stood I, trying in vain to make my heart see sense and cease the sighs. You see, whilst the others loved him, I adored. Whilst they served him, I worshipped. Whilst they praised him, I lived for him. I watched him for hours in secret, as I did my chores daily, as he laughed gaily and charmed merrily. I committed to memory every laugh and smile, every sweet greeting and kind word, every twinkle of his bonny blue eyes, or were they moss green? I could never tell. You see, whilst the others loved him, I adored. Whilst they served him, I worshipped. Whilst they praised him, I lived for him, and would have gladly died for one glance my way and one smile. I would have walked naked across desert miles. For one word and one touch, I would have sold my soul and embraced the cross as such. Oft when I saw him in quiet reflection, as he read by the casement in his chamber, I would gaze up at him from my garden chore with arms full of blue and red and amber, and bid my spirit to rise up to him, to embrace and kiss his lips by his window-sill. But alas, that was never to be, for a lowly serving-maid can no more aspire to be loved by her lord than choose to fly. He would never even know my name, that invisible slave who would dust his chamber and yearn for him till she dies.